Kohalo Yahweh, Bahashim, Yahweh Shai, Bahashim Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS who teach in Ruel. Salutations to your brothers in the highways and hedges. Salutations also goes out to you brothers and few sisters of the hopeful elect that tune in to listen and learn. I'm the brother Malak from the Diligent Soldier Camp here in Boston, Mass. As always, I pray this lesson be edifying to the elect. The name of this one is Dwell Together in Unity. Dwell Together in Unity. Okay, and this is actually inspired by situations that occurred here at my camp, and we dealt with it as brothers, as they say in the world, nipped it in the butt right away. And the beautiful part of the whole thing was, no one was offended. No one put up a arrogant and contentious argument, about what the situation was. Now, the situation itself is really not important to bring out. The fact is that many camps, many brothers in this truth will have situations where they would have to either correct or be corrected, right? But it's important to always realize that it's all of the Lord, man. It's Yahweh Shai's way of having mercy upon us, so that we get admonished and rebuked, right? Which rebuke goes into corrected, so that we may stop either going off or for lack of another phrase or word, not thinking or carrying ourselves the way we ought to be, right? So when something is happening and it's not according to scripture, one as brothers in this truth, man, we have to correct that, man. We have to make that right, through the spirit of Yahweh Bashim Yahweh Shai, man. And before I go on, this lesson is really for the brothers, right? Because it has to do with the brotherhood, okay? And which doesn't matter if sisters hear it, because it's all about order, man. It's all about order. And though we could get on the sisters, more correction, more rebuke and admonishment goes towards brothers, because for Israel overall to get right with the Lord, the men have to be in order, man, right? This is why Esau made sure he destroyed the women first, so then we could be destroyed, man, and all out of whack, all out of order, making our women go against us, disbalanced, made everything upside down, man. He scrambled, he screwed the plans up, screwed our plans up, man, in other words. But that's a whole nother subject. But again, man, I'm gonna make this short. I got a few scriptures lined up just to kind of not so much only prove the point, but so you can see that in the scriptures it's about the brotherhood, man, and how we have to stay in order and how we have to do it daily. You know what I'm saying? So without further ado, let me bring out first and foremost the book of Hebrews, chapter 13, verse 1. It says, brotherly Salakia, hold on 1 second. I'm driving and okay, let's switch lanes real quick. It says, let brotherly love continue. Okay, which is very it's short, but it's deep, man, because we have to constantly how do I say this, man, be patient with one another, man, long suffering with one another, man, just as the Lord is with us, man. So just because a brother is slightly going off or must be corrected or admonished, doesn't mean that brothers have to be short fuse and just go off. You know, sometimes, you know, we're still in these mortal bodies, man. You know what I'm saying? So sometimes we just have to be corrected, man, and even examined. You have to examine each other. We must examine ourselves, but then there's also examine what brothers say, or how they carry themselves. You know, if we're seeing that the brother might not be in tune or walking as he should be, right, or carrying himself as he should be. So you examine that and you see if it's just a sincere mistake, right? Unless it's something that after many corrections and admonishment, you know, it keeps that issue keeps coming up. You know, the scriptures have protocols for that too, man. You know, I think it says after the second or third admonishment, if I'm not mistaken, roughly paraphrasing. And I will get it if I can, man. But I'm driving, so it's, you know, I don't want anybody to be out there typing and driving at the same time. So roughly paraphrasing, man, after the second, third admonishment, you know, if that brother don't get it, we supposed to just not deal with that brother anymore, okay? But in this case, it wasn't, you know. In our case, the Water Yahweh Shem Yahushai was just something we had to bring up, show, and all of us collectively be in one accord, okay? So the next scripture I want to bring out real quick. So that one was Hebrews 13:1. Let brotherly love continue, man. We're supposed to love each other, man. Okay? And we know that love is to follow the laws and commandments of the Lord, man, to, you know, to the best of our ability, obviously in this time, because we can't keep all of it, right? But we try to. And then by keeping the laws to the best of our ability, we'll hold each other accountable. So whenever a brother is going off, you know, the way you love the Lord is and love that brother is by making sure that brother know he has to be on point. Okay? The next scripture I want to bring out is Colossians chapter 3 verse 16. It says, "Let the word of Hamashiach dwell in you richly in all wisdom, teaching and admonishing one another in psalms and hymns and spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord." Okay? The point I wanted to bring out in this particular scripture was the part where it says teaching and admonishing one another. Okay? This is exactly what we're supposed to be doing to one another, man. Is each one teach one, man, right? And admonishing each other, man. That word admonishing goes into, let me just look at a quick look up real quick. You know, reprimand someone firmly, advice. Okay. Oh man, I can't see the other ones right now. It says Salaki, give me 1 second, Akim. Warn, counsel, exhort, implore, beseech, entreat. Okay, we're supposed to be teaching and entreating one another. Okay, admonishing one another, counseling one another, man. You know, daily. You know, and then it goes on to say in psalms and in hymns and in spiritual songs, singing with grace in your hearts to the Lord. And what is that, man? The scriptures, man. The wisdom and understanding of the scriptures. Okay, I mean, you know, us here in the Diligent Soldier Camp, man, you know, before and after camp, and even while we're in the chat or on Zoom, and we're just, you know, kicking it, just, you know, shooting the breeze, we can't help but have conversations, and we can't help but quote scriptures when we even having regular conversations, man, you know, because it's the spirit to be on, man, you know, and especially if a brother says something, you know, and whether it's you know, some folly or something real, you know, another brother should still bring out a quote of scripture, you know, through the spirit, to balance that conversation out, man. So the conversation won't get too silly, right? Too far foolish, and to just balance things out, man. And that brother or collectively, you would we will all gain more understanding and stay spiritual, man. Because we have to make light of stuff, right? So we're gonna make jokes, we're gonna joke on each other, but and then we're also gonna like recap and say things that we've seen or heard or whatever. But it's always good to stay spiritual to the best of our ability, man. It's all about a balance, man. It's all about balance, man. Because when you doing too much of one thing, it's an abomination to the Lord, and also it's just bad, man. Repercussions come from that. For every action, there's a reaction, right? So it's a slippery slope, man, to start even going off, man. So we always have to stay spiritual minded. The next scripture I want to bring out is 2 Timothy chapter 4 verse 2, and this scripture actually came out in our conversation that we were having, as a camp. It says, preach the word, be instant in season, out of season, reprove, rebuke, exhort with all long suffering and doctrine, right? That word doctrine goes into teaching. But the scriptures are saying right there, basically the point I'm trying to make or was trying to extrapolate from this is be instant in season, out of season. Any little, it could be at any time, man. If you have to reprove a brother, rebuke a brother for them going off, you must do so, man. Okay? And likewise, the brother that's getting rebuked should not take it the wrong way, unless the brother that's rebuking you is doing the same thing, right? But the scriptures say to basically take the beam out your own eye, man. You know what I'm saying? Before you go and start trying to judge anybody else, lest ye be judged also by the same manner, right? So, but the point is, if a brother is going off, doesn't have the correct understanding of a particular scripture, or just even something as being a little over righteous, which in these times is not that bad to do so, but at the same time we must be careful with that too, right? We have to tread lightly, man, because we living in times where these demons are trying to use anything and everything to unbalance us, man, to throw us off, right? And to have us basically go off. So we got to just stay on top of that, examine ourselves daily, as the scripture says to do, man. All right, so teaching and so like being instant in season and out of season goes into be ready, ready to answer, ready to rebuke, ready to exhort, ready to admonish a brother when they need it, right? According to whatever's going on. Now the last scriptures I want to end off with. Let me just get off this lane, Salakia, because it's a few verses. It's one short chapter. It's only 3 verses, but it's beautiful. You know what I mean? It's the way the Lord looks at us. When we're being brotherly. In other words, right? So, hold on 1 second. Just give me like 10 seconds. Let me get off this lane and this exit. If this jerk will let me go. People are demons, man, driving out here, man. Oh, man. Anywho. So, the scripture I want to end off with is the book of Psalms, chapter 133, verses 1 through 3. Right? It says, a song of degrees of David. It says, behold, how good and how pleasant it is for brethren to dwell together in unity. Right? That word unity goes into one. And it's the spirit, man, because, we're coming upon the Pesach, right? And we have to make sure that we hash out any, leaven, schisms, any type of little problems, and that's in the body, right? Let alone your own physical body, man. You know, the spiritual body is all of us brothers along with the Lord, right? Being one body in Yahawashi HaMashiach, but also in your own house, your own body. We all gotta get right to the best of our abilities, man. You know, which goes into you praying, fasting, you know, and hoping that the Lord, you know, has mercy on us to basically, you know, forgive us, man, for the things that we have committed, man, or the sins that we committed, you know, thus far in this lifetime and in the past lifetimes, right? But you know, the point is, man, we're living in those times, man. It's not a coincidence where, you know, brothers are having situations right now that have to be hashed out, you know, through the Spirit, you know, and the fact that these demons are coming upon and attacking brothers even more every day, man. You know, they're working double time. We got to work double time too, man, in the Spirit, right? So let's get back to that verse 2 back in Psalms 133. It says, "It is like the precious ointment upon the head that ran down upon the beard, even Aaron's beard, that went down to the skirts of his garment, as the dew of harmony, and as the dew that descended upon the mountain of Zion. For there Yahweh commanded the blessings, even life forevermore," man. So that's how beautiful it is to the Lord, man. You know, when you read this short and sweet chapter, it's a beautiful thing, man, to see brothers dwelling in unity, man, under one accord, under one doctrine, one belief, all speaking the same things, man. You know, not trying to be down with the get down with the get along, man. You know, we can't be with other brothers or have a brother in the camp that's speaking differently, right? Because that's just not scriptural, man. And actually, if the scriptures do, when the scriptures do speak about it, it's you know, you have to cut that limb off, man. You got to cut that piece of the body off and cast it out, man. You know what I'm saying? So, you know, as of late, you got you know, this man, that man from Sakari, talking about unity, and unity goes into being one. But if you have one doctrine and the camp that you claim to be united with has another, then guess what, man? It doesn't make no sense, man. Alright? And there is no unity. You are not one. You know, can two walk together unless they agree, man? You know, and you know, this is just a short lesson, man, and I pray it was edifying, man, you know, to the brotherhoods, man, that we have to just keep we have to maintain that brotherly love between us, man. Okay? Admonish and exhorting one another, man, to receive mercy from the Lord also, man. You know, by the same way you treat another, man, you will be treated, basically, man. Okay, so pray that was edifying to you brothers and a few sisters also, man. With that, I wanted to say, Kol Halo Yahweh, Bahashem, Yahawashi, Bahashem Rakakwadash. Double honors to the apostles of GMS, who continue being, you know, great examples to us younger brothers. Salutations to the brothers in the Highways and Hedges. Salutations also goes out again to you brothers and a few sisters that tune in, man, the hopeful elect. With that, I say Shalom.